Hello to all viewers of my channel. Today, we're diving into what is arguably one of the most crucial skills of this decade, the art and science of prompt engineering. This quote right here, this is the golden rule. In the world of AI, you get out exactly what you put in. A great prompt isn't just a simple question. It's more like the blueprint for a brilliant answer.
Okay, let's look at this side by side, because this is where it really clicks. On the left, that's what most of us get, right? You ask a vague question, you get a vague, kind of useless wall of text back. This is where a lot of people get frustrated and give up. But look at the right. A truly mastered prompt. It's specific, it gives the AI a job to do, and bam, you get something structured, insightful, and ready to use. That leap is what this is all about.
So the big question is, how do we make that jump? How do we go from asking simple questions to giving powerful instructions? Well, it's really all about a mindset shift. We have to stop thinking of this as just asking questions and start thinking of it as learning how to direct the AI.
And that's where this term prompt engineering comes from. It sounds super technical, I know, but it really just boils down to the art and science of designing your instructions, your prompts, to guide an AI exactly where you want it to go. It's part science, understanding the logic, but it's also a whole lot of art, getting creative to craft that perfect instruction.
And like any skill, you got to start with a solid foundation. So let's break down the 4 essential pillars that every single great prompt is built on.
Pillar number 1 is all about clarity and specificity. I mean, it seems obvious, right? But you have to remember, the AI literally cannot read your mind. If you say, write about technology, what do you even expect? It's just too broad. But if you say, write a 2,000-word article on AI's impact in medicine for a non-technical audience, now we're talking. You've given it a precise target. Ambiguity is pretty much the enemy here.
Okay, number 2, context. This is so important. The AI has been trained on a huge chunk of the internet, so it knows a lot about the world in general, but it knows absolutely nothing about your specific project, your company, or what you were just thinking about. You have to feed it that background info. Give it the context it needs to really nail the task for you.
Pillar number 3, and this one is a total game changer, assigning a role or a persona. Instead of just asking a question, you tell the AI who it should be. Act as a seasoned business analyst. You are a witty historian. It immediately snaps the AI's focus, changing its tone, its style, and even the kind of knowledge it pulls from. It's an amazing shortcut to getting expert-level results.
And finally, our 4th pillar, format. Remember, you are in the driver's seat. Don't just let the AI spit out a giant paragraph if that's not what you need. Tell it exactly how you want the information structured. Give me a bulleted list. Put this in a markdown table. Output this as JSON. This step alone can save you a ridiculous amount of time.
All right, so once you've got those 4 pillars down, you have the foundation. Now we can start building on top of that. Let's get into some of the more advanced techniques, the really powerful frameworks that you can start using, like today. So first up, let's take that role pillar we just talked about and put it on steroids. We're talking about the expert persona.
Instead of just saying act like an economist, look at this. You get super specific. You are Dr. Sarah Chen, a behavioral economist with 20 years of experience. See the difference? Giving it a name, a specialty, a history, it forces the AI to dig deeper, to synthesize information on a whole other level. It's incredible.
Next is a technique that honestly feels a bit like magic, especially for complex problems. It's called chain of thought prompting. The idea is so simple but so powerful. You just tell the model to think step by step. That's it. You're basically asking it to show its work, to talk through its reasoning. This forces it into a more logical process, which can dramatically boost its accuracy.
And here's the proof right here. Look at this simple math problem. On the left, with a standard prompt, the AI just jumps to an answer and gets it wrong. But on the right, with chain of thought, it breaks it down. Okay, we started with 23, used 20, that's 3 left. Then we bought 6 more, so 3 plus 6 is 9. It gets the right answer simply because we asked it to slow down and show its work. Wild, right?
All right, next up is a really cool one for structuring those big, complex requests. It's called the context sandwich.
It's a simple 3-step way to make sure the AI gets all the info it needs in the right order. First, you give it the background context, the big picture. Then, you add the immediate context, the specific problem you're trying to solve right now. And finally, you top it off with the future context. What's the end goal here? This whole sandwich structure just keeps things super clear and focused for the AI.
Okay, so that's the theory. We've got the pillars, we've got the advanced techniques. Now, let's see how this stuff actually works in the real world. Let's run through a couple of quick, practical examples.
First, let's talk about developers, because prompt engineering is way more than just writing emails or blog posts. It's a powerhouse for code. A developer can use a prompt structured just like this. Specify the programming language, drop in a chunk of their code, list the exact problems they want to fix, maybe it's slow, maybe it's hard to read, and then ask the AI not only to rewrite it, but to explain why it made each change. This is an absolutely killer workflow for improving code quality.
Now here's something that is useful for, well, pretty much everyone. Getting the perfect format.
You don't have to just hope the AI gives you what you want. You can literally create a template, just like this one for a report, and tell the AI, fill this in. That's it. It completely transforms the AI from just a writer into this super efficient assistant that can crank out perfectly structured documents every single time. Okay, so all of this brings us to a much bigger idea. Because learning how to do this stuff, it's not just another tech skill. It's actually a pretty fundamental shift in how we interact with technology, and maybe even how we think.
Think about it. To get a clear, useful answer out of an AI, you first have to get incredibly clear about the question in your own head. You have to break down your own thoughts, organize them logically. It forces us to become better communicators and more precise thinkers. It's like a workout for your brain.
Which leaves us with this really interesting question to chew on. If AI can start to reason when we prompt it the right way, are we just teaching it how to think, or is it actually teaching us? Is this conversation we're having with it making us better thinkers? I'd love to know what you think. Subscribe to the channel and like, and also suggest your topics for future videos in the comments.